Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Trigger. In the last part, we went to the past and got the Dreamstone, so now our Masamune's repaired. So let's go give it to Frog. How you doing, boy?
Booey! This sword, 'tis the Masamune!
That sword is gigantic compared to him.
It is huge. It's almost as long as that bed sprite.
Yeah.
So yeah, suck it. Suck it, Cloud.
So Frog needs to think on some things, so we're just gonna be staying the night here, and we're having a flashback by the filter.
Filter.
Weird. Well, the filter that's over the
I get what you mean. No worries.
But looks, we're focusing on Cyrus. This is the guy we've heard a bunch about throughout the game so far. I wonder why we're seeing this now. Unless... Nah, it couldn't be. And as you can clearly see, Cyrus is a very well-respected knight. They never quite go into what he did to gain all this respect. We just know that he's a fantastic knight. And apparently this is his squire. His name is Glenn. That's an oddly out-of-place name for this game.
What does squire exactly mean?
Think of it in terms of golf terms. Oh crap! What's the name of the? Well, what's the name of the person who carries all the golf clubs? A caddy?
Probably. Yes. Yes.
They're essentially that, for a bit of a odd comparison. Also, fun little fact, this is the Frog King that you get the hero medal from. This thing actually has enemy data in the game, but it's never used. So that was actually a potential boss you would have been able to fight at some point. But nothing came of it. And things are going wrong, odd. The Masamune shattered? I guess this is where it would have happened.
How did it shatter, though?
I guess fighting these two.
Well then,
that's Ozzy. We've seen his. We've seen him before, and his descendant.
He's green.
Then, who's the blue hair? Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, the villain we've been hyping up this entire time. This is Magus, and he basically just killed Cyrus. Oh shit! Come on, you can be okay. Come on. No way the hero of the entire world would be killed that easily. Okay, now you're on fire. Well, this just got illusion of Gaia Dark.
Oh dear.
What is going on? Why are we still seeing this? Whose perspective is this even from? It seemed to have been from Cyrus's, but then why? Ah, that had to have hurt.
Oh god. I can't imagine how, painful it would be to be struck by lightning.
Some people say the people have been struck by lightning. Obviously, I forget the exact reports. Some people I think have said it barely hurts at all. Others have said it's otherwise. But Frog seems to have been there apparently, and he knew Cyrus. 10 years have passed. Unless, they're very much hinting at his identity, but I'm not going to go over that yet. But it seems Frog has strengthened his resolve, so he's going to join us on our journey over to Magus' tower. And he's required for this part. Now, the party here can be varied depending on what your playstyle is. I'm bringing in Robo just because I want to get their dual techs.
I choose Luca because Delta Storm.
Delta Storm is good, but I prefer to have Robo because Frog Drop.
Well, here's the thing. No, what? Never mind. I'll get to it when we burn the bridge. I'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
I forget the name of it. Either way, before we go up there, I do want to bring him back to the end of time because we need to get magic for Frog. And his element is water. And similarly to Marl's ice. Like I said before, ice and water are treated as the same elements in the game, hence aqua. However, I'm not going to fight Specchio yet. I just wanted to get that. Also, if you bring Ayla there, she can't learn magic either, because she was born before magic was created. And now we're at the mountain that has a mysterious place, the Magic Mountain, east of Fiona's house back in 600.
More flashbacks.
Really, we're fading into flashbacks again. It's like the Metal Gear Solid game or something. And Cyrus as a teenager. I guess that would make this green-haired kid Glenn. They never quite go into Glenn and Cyrus's relationship in a decent amount. You just know they're friends for some reason. Honestly, I would have liked to see maybe, similarly to the Radical Dreamers Choose Your Own Adventure thing that kind of bridges some gaps between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. I would have liked like a mini prequel adventure just to show how these two became friends and such and their journey. Be kind of like a Crisis Core.
Who were those kids that were like beating up on
Glenn?
Yeah.
We never learned. We just know that essentially Cyrus is the respected kid. Glenn is the weak kid who the strong one is friends with. He's the target. Cyrus is the protector, essentially, kind of.
Okay.
And Glenn's a real softie because he doesn't want to hurt anyone. He's just traveling with his friend because he doesn't really have much else in the world. And now we're back here for some reason. Well, there's a reason for that. If you guys haven't figured it out by this point, Frog and Glenn are one and the same. I don't know how Magus turned him into a frog with that magic. I guess he used the Toad spell, actually.
Oh, I hate Toad.
But that's the reason that Frog has always seemed not to want vengeance against Magus and always a bit apprehensive about going into adventuring again because to him, the true hero has always been Cyrus. He doesn't believe in himself. But by this point, it seems that Frog has strengthened his resolve in accepting his fate because I'm sure a lot of you have seen like anime or TV shows and such where the true hero at the end wasn't who we thought it would be. Frog is accepting Cyrus's hopes and dreams and is going to pick up the Masamune to absorb his fate as the hero. And I love this scene. Also, rest in peace, headphone users. Oh, God, my ears.
Me.
I would love to see a 3D remake once again of this game for this scene, because think of how badass it would be to see someone split a goddamn mountain in two. Holy shit. And with that, now Frog can also use the Masamune. It's his best weapon at this point in the game, and it's pretty good. And if you have the hero medal equipped in his accessory slot while doing so, his critical hit rate increases to, I want to say, about 30 to 50%.
It seems the RNG is really nice because he crits so much when I have the hero medal and the Masamune.
Yeah, either way. Next, first new enemies for the part are Vamps and Gremlins. Vamps have 128 HP, 30 magic defense, 58 XP, 2 TP, and 70 gold, and they can absorb HP and MP with their attacks, similarly to the previous Vampire Bat enemies. And as for Gremlins, well...
110 HP, 225 defense, 51 XP, 2 TP, 70 gold. Oops, sorry. I thought that was like slash meaning Chrono's ability.
Well, you could do that, because they are very weak. They're essentially the equivalent to those rat enemies we encountered back in the future.
Fair.
But they're overall very easy enemies. Also, there is a bat following us for some reason. And keep in mind this guy's advice. The juggler strengthens his guard depending on the attack. That's going to come in handy later. Both ladies and gentlemen, I recommend you use a shelter before heading north any farther and saving, because it's time to enter Magus's castle.
Hell. Welcome to hell.
I love this scene right here. This is so
This track
is so haunting. And I love the sprite art that they do for the castle. That just looks great. Though, at the top, we can get a bit of Toriyama. because that looks exactly like a green dragon out of Dragon Quest. Radical Dreamers had some sprite art very similar to this.
See, little songs like that are the kind of thing that I want to create.
Yeah, because little anthems like that and fanfares are, for some reason, always the most memorable things. And we got a lot of random townspeople in here that don't want to speak to us. This part of the game I always found very eerie because there's no music playing at all.
Parts where there's not music playing are always very creepy.
I always think of certain sections in 7. If they're not playing that, they're playing those chosen by the planet, and God, that song is so good.
There's so many
Luca.
children. Luca, why are you here? Queen Lean,
what?
why? Mom!
Mom?
What?
The NPCs in that room actually vary depending on which character you are. If you have Luke on your party, it's like Taban
It's
and
Tavin
such. And there's nothing in that room.
Marl, it's King Guardia.
Yeah. And here's a save point, but this isn't a normal save point. Ozzy?
Sir, what are you doing? Why are you floating? Also, why is the bat going next to him suddenly?
That's weird. Either way, what he's essentially telling us is that in order to reach Magus, we're going to need to fight him and his 2 compatriots, Slash and Flea. And supposedly, he says you have to defeat all 100 beasts in the castle. I don't think you actually have to do that. But it does lead into our next enemy, a hench. This is a purple hench. It's actually different enemy data from the blue one we encountered earlier. This one has 180 HP, 93 experience points, 2 TP, 200 gold, and they're weak to fire. And now we actually get introduced to the main theme for Magus' Lair, and I love this track.
It's a really great theme, but this theme, kind of like Southgate from Final Fantasy IX, has caused me a little bit of trauma because it always caused problems with the game itself. On the emulation system that I was using, it always there was some part in the game where it got so glitchy that the emulator had stopped working. So
I actually have a similar experience because whenever I emulate Final Fantasy VII, towards the end of Disc 1, I forget the song that plays when you're in the City of Ancients during that nighttime sequence, right at the end of Disc 1. But there's always some slight crackling in the background. But this is just a track that's really atmospheric, and suddenly there's monsters here. Hi. A lot of the monsters in this area, at least in the early parts of it, are reused enemies we've already seen. Like, these are Omicrones. I think these are the descendants that we encountered in the jail cell above Guardia Castle.
It's weird. I don't know why they used the Omicrone before.
Yeah, because this is a very random place to put them.
Well, no, like, just even in 1000 AT, I don't know what the significance of having it there was.
Yeah, that's weird.
Also, those screams are kind of haunting.
Yeah. It seems that we've pissed someone off by killing all these monsters.
Sir Slush.
Sir Slush!
I'd like a
You can
slush.
save and do some inventory management before you actually talk to him. And I recommend doing that because you might want to heal. Next enemy is this guy, the first of Magus' 3 generals, Slash.
Slash has 3,200 HP and uses fire. That's it.
That's about it. He's mostly an HP tank. I recommend using the attack I just did with Chrono and then using Bubble Snap. That's it. I called it Frog Drop for some reason.
Frog Drop.
With Frog and Robo, because it's essentially what it is. Frog's picking something up and dropping it.
Fair.
Because this is a very powerful dual attack for this point in the game. I think you need Robo Tackle in water in order to use it. But it's really good. Slash is very easy, honestly, at least at this point, because he's not very aggressive. He doesn't do much to attack you, and even then his attacks that he does do aren't that powerful. I want to say he focuses on Frog, too. I think. I could be thinking of a later enemy.
I never really had any instances of a...
Oh, wait, actually, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the Turks in Final Fantasy VII. Because they'll focus on specific characters more, at least first off. Like, Ruto in particular, he will not target Tifa until she's the only one left, I believe. Heal when necessary, obviously, but Slash phase 1, and yes, there is multiple phases to this fight, because no way any boss this easy would be its only thing, is not very troublesome. If you do need healing, I do recommend having Robo switch to it and then use X-Strike. And at this point, he gets a bit more interesting. Slash with his sword has 5200 HP, 60 magic defense, 500 XP, 10 TP, 150 gold, and he's immune to aquatic elements. This is the point where you might want to switch up your strategy as well. If you Berserk Frog and Chrono, you can Berserk Frog or Chrono, or maybe even both. I forget what I would do for that. And then completely have Robo on medical leave because you can do a lot of damage with the Berserks with these two around, especially if you have the Hero Medal on Masamune Frog. Mind you, Kenny, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I recall, at this point in the game, you actually are forced to have the Masamune on. You cannot unequip it.
I've never tried. I've just always automatically had it on because it's a good weapon.
There's no better weapon for him at this point.
Yeah.
I've never tested it. I wouldn't be surprised if you were locked to have it on.
Yeah, for plot significance.
The interesting thing about Slash, though, at this point is that he actually uses a lot of techniques similar to Chrono. In fact, I know for a fact he has the exact Slash tech Chrono has. But honestly, Slash is very easy even when you get to phase 2. And if I recall, the 3 generals actually had different names in Japan? I'm gonna need to look that up. Because that's, if I recall, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, his name is Soy, essentially. Basically a pun off soy sauce. Yeah, because his name is now a reference to Saul Hudson from Guns N' Roses. Which is odd, because Mega Man X5 just ended uploading a few days ago. Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't, talked much.
Yeah, your allergies, whatever, your cold or whatever's giving you issues.
I'm just trying really hard not to cough super loudly and screw up your audio, like I did last
Well, I can
part.
edit that out, dude. No issue.
I know, but still.
And we killed him! And we get the Slasher weapon for Chrono.
Good weapon.
Not only is that a more powerful sword, but it also increases your speed. And he also gives us a save point, which is an actual save point unlike the one out front here.
I still use the Demon's Edge. Doesn't give the it doesn't give the speed +2, but it does 1.5 times
crit
damage to magic enemies, which is wonderful for this place.
I would have done that, but I like having speed a bit more because the way I look at it is now I can have about 2 turns in a much closer time and do about the same amount of damage.
Well, honestly, by this point, I would have about max speed with Chrono anyways, because I'd use all of my speed tabs on him.
I wouldn't have, because I like to spread it out. Either way, next new enemy is yours, actually.
Believe the Sorcerer. 220 HP, 0 magic defense, 111 XP, 3 TP, 220 gold, weak to fire, and absorbs thunder, shadow, and aqua. Drops mid-ethers, which restore 30 MP, and mid-ethers are expensive.
Yeah, they're a pretty good way to gain money in the early game. I don't, because 30 MP is a really good amount to keep around. Sorcerers can actually be very troublesome in large groups, though. So watch out for them.
Well, not if you have Fire.
Yeah, but by this point, I don't. If you brought Luca around everywhere with you at this point, I believe you very well could.
Also, did you ever talk about that you switched Luca in for Robo, actually?
Oh, that's right, I did. Sorry about that. I just switched them out there right, though. That was just so I can get some extra tech points towards her next techs. And this is apparently Flea. All right.
Flea, question mark?
Flea has 1 HP. And then it'll use MP Buster on you, which completely sucks away your MP, so have Chrono attack it before anything else. Well, that was easy. Where's the real Flea? Who said that
You.
the bat
You were
following
shadowing
us
us
around
earlier.
was Flea? I never got the point of that. Why did they do that?
I have no idea.
And apparently Flea is a guy?
Girl? What?
I forget how they handled that in the Japanese version. I'm going to need to look that up while you go over her stats.
Him, her, it. It's basically the Quina ambiguity. Alright, Flea, 4120 HP, 150 defense, 60 magic defense, 500 XP, 10 tech points, and 1,000 gold. He doesn't have any weaknesses. Which sucks, because he uses fire attacks a lot.
Flea's name was changed in the Japanese version. I know Flea's name was a pun off mayonnaise, but in North American translation,
A pun off
the
of...
name comes from
What?
mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise. Yeah, mayonnaise.
Oh. Whoops.
In the Super Nintendo version here, the name comes from the basis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, if I recall. Either way, in terms of base strategy for Flea, Bubble Snap is the way to go once again, along with Spin Cut, or you can Berserk, Frog, and Chrono and have Robo either to use Robo Tackle or Heal when necessary. Not a very hard fight, but if I recall, some of the attacks that Flea has are pretty annoying. He can use Charm to seduce at least 2 party members. I don't think I've ever seen them use more than that.
One of my least favorite attacks is the Stare.
Yeah. My experience, Flea uses Charm on Frog more often than not, but I know for a fact that he can do it on Chrono.
I thought he only did it on Chrono.
No, it doesn't on Frog more often than that. I think it's based off damage, based off a certain point in time. Let me look it up here on the Chrono wiki, actually. Yeah, it's weird. I've never actually had Flea use it on Chrono. I've only ever had it on Frog. Maybe it's based... I think it might actually be based off damage, like mass damage.
Then, yeah, he had the Demon Edge on, so there you go. That's why.
Yeah, that's probably why. I know for a fact Flea counters physical blows with strong text. Berserker Rings can help avoid those, though, because for some reason, Flea does not register Berserk attacks as regular attacks.
What? That's weird.
Yeah.
Dead.
Oh, that's right. Flea also uses a lot of status ailment attacks, which aren't that annoying. Just make sure you have some remedies on standby, just in case.
Honestly, status effects are really rare in this game for me.
Well, the thing is, a lot of them don't last out of battle, similarly to Final Fantasy VII.
Well, still, like, even in battle, there was a time where I didn't get a single status effect ever.
The only one that's really annoying in the game is Sleep, because I don't think it goes away on its own unless they're physically attacked. What else? Flea, once you get past all that, is a pretty basic fight. I love the background, though. Reminds me a lot of Mega Man Star Force 1, actually.
But why did they only do it for Flea?
Because Flea's a magician. The way I always looked at it is between the 3 generals, Slash is the knight, the physical attacker, Flea is the crowd control mage character, and Ozzie's just the dick.
That one.
But you get a magic tab for beating Flea, which I'm going to give to Robo. And I recommend you actually go back to the save point Slash's room and use a shelter, because that's going to be necessary to have some good HP and MP for stuff coming up. And I brought in Luca because tech points. And this is one of those areas where you're going to be hearing the battle theme a lot, because you're hearing it all the way through. Next new enemy is a Grimalkin. 120 HP, 114 XP, 3 TP, 180 gold, and they're weak to fire.
I think there's a lot of enemies in here that are actually weak to fire.
Which would make sense, because Magus is, by all definitions, really a necromancer, mostly.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he doesn't have any attacks that can, raise the dead.
Fair.
I do find it odd that out of all the enemies that Magus would have at his lair, aside from the 3 generals, they're all very weak. You'd think he would have the elites here, but no, they're nowhere to be seen. Heck, can you imagine encountering a lot of the, what was the name of the skeleton enemy from earlier?
Descendant, probably? Ancestor?
No. No, let me just look through the thing. Where are you? You were like in part 4, I think?
Descendant, probably.
No, the boss fight.
Oh,
I'm talking
Zombor.
About. Zombor. Right, sorry about that. It's been a while. Having a lot of Zombors, I can understand. Also, I brought in Marl. Or no, I equipped that on Marl just because it's a better thing. I am still scatterbrained because it's the same day as we could record the last part. Ozzy, what are you doing? Actually, no, that's what Ozzy is. He's the trickster. because he relies more on traps than fighting himself. And you get a dark mail there. That's pretty useful.
AKA 99% of Final Fantasy 12, because, in all honesty, none of the areas are actually difficult. It's the traps that...
Yeah, ow, ow. Yeah, those traps really hurt. I want to say they do about 50 damage per
50 damage per
hit.
Character.
Yeah.
And it's only
Anyway,
if
the
Chrono
dark mail
gets
there.
hit.
Yeah, the mist robe. Some people I think would give to someone else, but I always give it to Marl. And the dark mail I'm gonna give to Robo as well as that Doom finger because he's the only one who you know can equip it.
Doom finger, the finger of doom.
That just makes me think of Fantastic Four for some reason.
Why?
Because Dr. Doom.
Eh.
And this area is a bit weird. It's basically Donkey Kong. You can go down on the ladders to avoid the rollies, but I don't want to do that just so I can fight them.
Jugglers! That's what Flea was before, but they have been souped up. They have 450 HP, 253 defense, 128 XP, 3 tech points, and 220 gold. Weak to fire. Combos with Outlaw. Switches defense. We haven't run into Outlaws yet.
Yeah, essentially, when we do run into Outlaws, they have a dual tech with them.
Really?
And
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's basically Fire Whirl. And what switches defense mean is that these guys are similar to some enemies from the actual Final Fantasy series. Their defenses depend on what you just hit them with. If you hit them with a physical attack, they switch to physical defense. If you hit them with a magical attack, they switch to magical defense. You're gonna need to alternate, basically. Thankfully, there is no real poor mage character in this game aside from Ayla. And I guess to some extent, Robo. So you should always have someone who can do decent magic damage. Also, why are they throwing rollies at us? Those guys are so outclassed at this point.
Because Throwback Thursday?
I guess.
Gotta have that nostalgia factor. Oh my
also,
god.
I just realized I totally could have pressed the, I think it's the Y button in that battle, just so you can actually see the juggler. Because pressing the Y button in battle does switch the location of the menu.
So he was just kind of there like, yo.
Yeah.
Also, this is one of my favorite sections of this castle is right here.
Yeah. Well, first off, there's a lot of treasure in this room, but the way it works is that there are 4 save point things in the entire area. 2 of them are traps against enemies. One's an actual save point, one's a teleport back up to the previous floor. I somehow got the teleport first try.
It's a 1 out of 4 chance. So
yeah. The teleport is always across from the save point, though. And there's like, what, 7 holes in that room that I'm falling down?
8, I think.
There's also a magic tab hidden right here that I almost forgot about when I was playing. That, yet again, is going to Robo, I believe.
Also, you picked up a Lapis. Those restore 200 HP per person, which is super good.
Yeah, it's a party heal. And it's really good. And now the save points are enemies. These guys actually don't have a name, so I just wrote down question mark in my notes. 10 HP, 253 defense, 144 XP, 2 TP, and 100 gold. They're essentially cousins of the Ions, I believe, in some context.
Cousins?
In terms of the way they work, because they have great physical defense with very low HP.
But they give a lot of experience and specifically tech points. You can come down here for tech leveling.
Yeah, at least at this point, because once you get to Ozzy, you no longer have access to this room.
I never actually understood how the save point was across the teleporter.
It's a good thing to keep in mind.
I learned something today.
Also, I did fall down there a lot just so I can get the extra stuff.
Are you going to show the Outlaw combo here?
I don't know if they did it, actually, but the Outlaws themselves have 182 HP, 104 XP, 3 TP, 90 gold, and they're immune to thunder and fire.
Also, I did not realize that could ever happen.
What, the rollies exploding?
No, the juggler used fire on the rolly bomber, so it exploded.
Yeah, that's something to do. Either way, the rolly bomber...
99 HP, 0 magic defense, 72 experience points, 3 tech points, 100 G, weak to everything, self-destructs upon damage.
It is basically there just to do damage to you. Though I believe you can actually get in specific encounters, you can actually damage enemies with it, but I've never been able to do that. I've only heard about that.
I've never been able to do it.
I don't think the Outlaws and the Jugglers did their combo, at least not in footage I showed. If you're wondering what it looks like, it's essentially a fire whirl between Luca and Chrono, just with someone else. It's not very damaging. It's also very easy to just kill one of them before they can get a chance to do it. What is going on? Oh, a lot of enemies. Go ahead,
Groupies. They're basically suited up goblins. There you go. 390 HP, 30 magic defense, 127 XP, 2 attack points, 170 gold, weak to thunder, aqua, and fire, absorb shadow. You type in AWUA a lot, so.
My bad.
No.
I am bad at the typing.
Me. Whoa, dude!
That was very pathetic.
Wow, talk about a flashy animation, but not worth the...
Yeah. Interesting, though, that you bring up the fact that they're suited up goblins, because similar to the goblins, there's technically 2 varieties of them. Ones with crossbows and ones without. I forget if I show the ones with crossbows. But the crossbow ones, which we run into some point, I believe, I think right now, actually, are considered... No, not where are they? Huh.
I don't think I've ever seen them with crossbows.
They're a separate enemy type. They're technically called flunkies. They have 113 experience points instead of 127, but 210 gold instead of 170. Basically the same stats otherwise. And there's a speed belt, which is nice. I think I gave that to Luca, actually. Yeah. At this point... Oh, actually, no,
there they are.
They're a different color. My bad. This fight took a while, by the way, which is why I'm fast-forwarding. Yeah, as I said, though, Flunky is basically the same as the groupies, except that they have 113 experience points instead of 127.
Also.
Yeah. There it is.
Hey, that's really cool.
Usually the Outlaws are dead by this point, so I'm surprised I actually got a chance to do it. But this fight can take a while, because not only do the animations take a bit, but for some reason... This juggler just took a while to kill because I was being stupid. If I recall, at least. It's been a while since I recorded this footage, obviously. In fact, you know what? I can get the exact date up. Oh, let's see.
Don't make me feel bad for abandoning you.
It's currently September 4th. This was recorded...
July. No. Promptly states... February?
July 13th.
July 13th? Okay.
Yeah. And we got a Mistro up there, which I'm actually going to replace on Luca for right now because it's just a bit better than the Taban thing she has. And a Magic Scarf, which is, I guess, good. Either way, it's Ozzy time.
Ozzy time.
Blah, 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 he's being stupid. And the gimmick with his fight is that he's constantly covered in ice.
He has 1,000 HP, 255 defense, 100 magic defense. He's immune to water. I don't know if it's possible to kill him by just attacking him.
I've never tried. What you're supposed to do with this fight is attack the levers.
I'm gonna try killing him by just constantly attacking.
It'll probably take a while.
It'll take a while, but not with a speed up button.
I'm not even sure if Ozzy actually has any attacks in this form. This is basically a joke fight because you'll see how it ends.
Well, I mean, he does if you attack him.
Oh, that's why. Okay, it's probably like he has high defense and does a lot of damage then. Really, though, Ozzy, I never got the point of this fight because it's basically a joke.
Wee hee hee. Eh? I feel like he's just there for comedy relief.
Yeah. Oh, I could have done an Austin Powers reference here. Damn it. Oh.
Ha! That's great.
I'm burning!
I love Austin Powers.
And I didn't show it off there, but I actually did go and use the save point on the right and brought in my party of Chrono, Frog, Robo. And this is what everyone's looking like right now.
We're getting ready. This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yep.
This is the last episode.
Yep, totally. Ugh. Ladies and gentlemen.
The final boss.
Magus. I love this backdrop. How you doing, blue hair? Who looks a lot like Vegeta.
Fair.
I'll go over it in a minute, but I love this track.
Me too.
So many people have died in this war, and it's time to put an end to it. Frog, it's all up to you, buddy. Let's do this. The black wind begins to howl. Give me your best shot.
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away! Why are you talking
Magus.
like Exeth suddenly?
You're right, holy shit. Magus has 6,666 HP. I see what they did there. 230 defense, 1,500 XP, 15 TP, 3,000 gold. He counters with elements. His barrier change ability basically means that he'll use that element, but he'll only be able to be hit by that element. Since you can only at max have 3 out of the 4 elements with you, unless you bring along like Marl and
Luca.
But you actually can't because you have to have Frog in your party. You are locked into having 3 elements in this fight. I opted to bring in Robo because in my experience, he tends to barrier shift to Shadow a lot more often than to Fire.
That's why I use Luca, because Delta Storm is really good and it does about 1,000-ish damage. So...
If you have Robo and Frog, have Frog attack every round, because you need to have him attack Magus in order to lower his magic defense to a manageable level of, I think, around 30 or something? 30, somewhere between 0 and 30, I want to say. Have Chrono use a barrier on himself and Frog to boost their magic defense. Or is it the physical defense?
Magic.
One of the two. Alright, and if he uses Fire, he's weak to Fire, so on and so forth. Use Robo as the healer whenever you need to. You could also potentially switch out looking for Robo, as he said, and have her cast Protect on herself so she has it. If she has it, rather, and then just repeat the same strategy. Past a certain point, he will stop doing the barrier shift ability and instead just focus on casting his main, basically, screen nuke. I think it's Dark Matter?
Dark Matter. It's basically,
which does
it's
a lot of damage.
Illuminati upon Illuminati and triangles and stuff.
At that point, you can stop doing magical attacks and focus more on physical attacks because he's not doing barrier shift anymore.
This is the main reason why I get the Demon's Edge, because not only is it a really strong weapon, if Chrono gets a physical hit on him, it'll do a lot of damage when his defense is down.
And that is a very valid strategy. I prefer to have the Slasher just because I'm a lot more DPS with extra speed. For some reason in my mind, but any strategy is worth it.
Yeah.
Overall, though, Magus can be troublesome, but as long as you have a good pattern down, he's not that bad. I just hope for players out there that he doesn't switch to an element you don't have, because that means you won't be able to do anything for him for a bit.
Except for attacking, and then he'll eventually switch. Well, I mean...
Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, let's be honest. You could do a dual attack to make up for that.
You could, yeah. But then comes the issue of who do you want to dual tech with? Will it do the elements that he's weak to? And will it do decent damage at all?
Fair.
Because you basically need Frog to be constantly physically attacking in this fight just so he can lower his magic defense.
Why'd you keep doing a laser spin out of curiosity? Why didn't you go ahead and robo-tackle?
Remember how I told you in between parts that I screwed up with something in this part?
Right.
I forgot that once he switches to Dark Matter, he's not weak to any elements anymore. So I thought he was still in his Shadow elements. So that's entirely on my bad, but
also, that is a very
understandable.
devastating move. That will kill you if you're not healed up.
Yeah. And in terms of accessories, Frog has the Hero Medal. I forget what Chrono has. Probably the Magic Scarf or Silver Stud. And I actually have Robo with the Rage Band just so I can get some extra damage in on him if he has to heal or something. And anyway, how about this song? Oh my god, I love this song so much.
I can't imagine how long this took to make.
This is a very impressive song. In fact, Chrono Trigger on the whole, on the soundtrack aspect, is very impressive for the Super Nintendo. because I think it uses mostly the same sound fonts from Final Fantasy VI. They sound entirely different at the same time because they're just so differently orchestrated.
You did it. You came to your senses.
Yeah, I realized it. I think within the last minute of the fight, wouldn't you know it?
Come on, use dark matter one more time. Show him who's boss. But don't kill
Magus,
him.
though, he's hard, but he's not overly hard. He's very manageable if you can understand what he's doing.
I think the way they did this boss fight was really, really creative.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of the more cinematic boss fights in the game. But you know, that's something I'll give Chrono Trigger over a lot of the Final Fantasies at the time, is that because they don't shift into a particular battle scene, the fights are a bit more cinematic on the gameplay's aspect because you're in a location at any certain point in time. Making the fights a bit more believable as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not like, say, Final Fantasy where you're just facing a boss in the middle of a castle throne room, and then when the fight starts, you're sent into a generic castle background.
You could say that for some. I know that for 9, that's different. For most of the more recent ones, that's different. Specifically 12, actually.
And there he goes, though I had to question why they gave us experience points if this is the end of the game. And apparently Magus is noticing something different about the Masamune, and what the hell just happened there? Lavos. Oh, that's right, we kind of forgot about him, didn't we?
Wake up.
What? He summoned him. So Magus is older than this time period. Not Magus.
Lavos.
Lavos. And apparently this battle has caused a gigantic gate to show up. Oh boy.
Also, this was really, really trippy when I first saw it.
This is not good.
This really,
oh boy, where are we going?
This little vortex thing here messed with my eyes so much.
Oh. Damn you, Lavos.
Oh. And we were all... It was all just a dream. What?
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Play Chrono Trigger. But yeah, you're right. I'm getting a massive sense of deja vu.
Hey, it's
What?
the post-game!
Okay, apparently now that we've killed Magus, Chrono and Marl got married off screen. Odd, but worth. Though Lavos is still kind of out there. I guess that's our main goal in the post-game, isn't it? To take out Lavos.
Post-game? Lavos is just post-game. Who cares about Lavos?
Yeah, kind of odd that they would do that, right? Because he would seem like a major threat.
That's true, but still.
It's very much like Final Fantasy V Advance, where Enuo, the guy that they talked about a lot in the game, wasn't until the post-game in the Advance version. Wait, what? Oh, we were dreaming that. I think Chrono has a thing for Marl. Either way, we've been thrown back in time somehow, I guess, by that giant gate that Lavos summoned. And...
I love this line.
It seems that Magus wasn't sent here with us. I guess he ran away or something. But Frog brings up a good idea. If he didn't create Lavos, when did he first show up? This is troubling. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're just joking. We're not done with the game yet. Not by a long shot. We're not even halfway through the game yet.
I would... Yeah,
but apparently
I mean,
the reptiles...
in all honesty, this is halfway through. In all honesty, this is halfway through the game. But like, if you're going through every single story thing, this is far from halfway.
Yeah, it all depends on what you're doing. But apparently the reptiles attacked a village off screen, so we're gonna need to go and help them. But we're gonna save that for next part. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 9, we'll be checking out what happened over in Lower Ruba Village. But first, we're gonna make one minor sidetrack. See you guys then.
Bye.